Do your character eyes look unrealistic? Are you doing those same mistake the beginner artist and students do? You may be doing those mistakes. So today I'm going to talk about 10 mistakes beginner artists and students do while sculpting human eyes. By correcting those 10 mistakes, your character eyes will look more realistic and believable. So without any delay, let's get started.
Subscribe Nalinkantajena tutorials channel and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So in this video we are going to learn 10 mistakes basically beginner artists and 3D students do when they sculpt eyes, and probably you may be also doing the same mistake. Watch till the end of the video and we are going to know about all those things, and your eyes will be improved dramatically. So let's start with the first mistake, and the first basic mistake is placing the eyes on a flat surface, on a flat base. So you can see this image. People do these mistakes. They put the eyes on a flat overall shape, and we don't have that. We have a kind of curve shape, and then the eyes are on that curve shape. Now you can see it's almost looking flat. If you look at this face from bottom angle or from top angle, you can see it's almost flat. So you can see from this eye corner to this eye corner, this is almost flat. So you can see this is wrong and this is right. If you make it flat, it's going to look like a gorilla. You can see here they have kind of a flat face, and you can see flat eyes can make your face looks like this, not obviously like a gorilla because the features is different. So but you can see we have a kind of angle changed on our eye area. You can see that's a flat surface, and here we have kind of angle. So that's the first thing you need to check when you do the eyes. Make sure your base has a curve. So I'm going to do that real quick here, so by using the move tool. So let's use the move and let's go down the divisions, make sure symmetry is on. So here I'm like bringing this corner back and make sure it has a kind of overall curve. Maybe I think this is okay now. Okay, so now you can see the eyelids are intersecting with the eyeball, so we are going to correct that as well. So we need to adjust this eyelid so that it looks like this from this angle. So there is a curve as well, it's not flat. So beginner student tends to make it flat, but in reality it's kind of curve. It's on top of the eyeball, and make sure you are checking the eye always from the bottom angle or from the top. I think the bottom angle is okay. Make sure the eye has that curve, and the overall shape from this corner to this corner has an overall curve. Let's check the second mistake, and the second mistake is making the eye shape very simplified. That means just making two curve, one for the upper curve and then the bottom curve, and always people believe that that's the eye shape, but it's more complicated than that. So if you check this image here, you can see every eye has its own character, and this is wrong. Just putting a curve or two curves up and down, it's not an eye shape actually. So basically if you check the eyes, every eyes are different, and here we have something like this. It's not kind of no, just a reverse curve. It's like this. Let me draw on the face. So let's see. Students makes this mistake by just doing the same shape, and let's do the reverse. So this is the wrong thing. It's not the reverse curve. So let's say the peak point is not at the center. When I say that, if you draw like this, it's not the eye shape. For that top curve, the peak point is not at the center, it's somewhere here. So it should be like this. it should be the peak and then it should go down like this. So the peak point is not here, it's here. So let's say I'm now doing this eye, the left eye of the character, and then the peak point of the bottom is not at the center, it's somewhere here. Okay, so if you make a straight line, the peak point is not at the center, it's somewhere here. So it's kind of a actual opposite of that curve. You can see the peak point here and the peak point somewhere close to here. So it's not just like a curve which has the peak high point at the center and then the reverse curve. It's not like this. So let me undo. So let's do that shape. Now we have that mistake, wrong thing here. So the peak point is here and here at the center. No, it should be somewhere here. You can see that clearly here. The peak point is somewhere here and then the peak point is here. Basically when I say peak point, it's the high point. Okay, so it should be, the high point should be somewhere here, not at the center. And it's very, very subtle, but if you want to get a realistic eye, you have to do that. You don't have to make it very drastic, just subtle. And then let's do that. The peak points is somewhere here, so it becomes a more complicated shape. And you can see this eye corner, and this is a peak area. So from here till here the curve. Okay, something like this. So the overall shape of the eye is not a very simplified shape. It's kind of a the peak point is here and the peak point is opposite to that here. So this is the second mistake. Make sure you don't make the eye very simplified, cartoonic kind of thing. In realistic, it's kind of this. Okay, then let's see the third mistake. The third mistake is making the eyelid very thin, making very thin eyelid. So you can see now we have a very thin eyelid here. So let me go to the damn standard. You can see this eyelid is very thin. In reality, it's very thick. You can check that. Let's see some images here, some real images here. You can see it's very thick. So we need to make sure it's thick, it's not very thin. For that I'm going to use a brush, let's say inflat. So let's inflat this and make sure the thickness is the same all the way through the end. So let's make it thick. Basically we need to get that flatness there, but let's first make it thick. Okay, something like this. Let me smooth these areas, go down a bit. I forgot to put all these details on a layer so that we can see the difference later, but let's see. Okay, here I'm going to use a dynamic brush, let's say trim dynamic, to flatten that area. So it's kind of a flat shape. And we can again smooth this. Just flat a little bit. Make sure the thickness is on the same all the way. Okay, I just didn't got that right here. But I think you got the point. So make sure the eyelid is thick enough, and let me actually correct this area. So the third mistake beginner artists or students do, that making the eyelid very thin. We make sure our eyelid is thick enough. Okay. So then let's see the fourth mistake, and that is making the eyelid thin towards the corner. So sometimes people do this mistake. They tend to make the eyelid thinner towards this corner. So something like this. Let me take the pinch tool so that I can show you what I'm talking about here. So something like this. So you can see it's very thick here, but it's becoming thinner towards the corner. This is wrong, because the eyelid has the same thickness all the way till the end, so it doesn't change the thickness. So make sure the eyelid has the same thickness till the end. Make sure you have that. And the fifth mistake is missing a tear duct. So sometimes we forget to do that little stuff here to this corner. Make sure you have that. So let me do that. So a little muscle here for the tear, so called tear duct. And it also helps to fill this odd corner, because this is the eyeball and this is the gap kind of shape here. Make sure you have this tear duct. It's kind of a little area here. You can let's make a ball like thing here and soften this. Make sure you have this tear duct. The sixth mistake is alignment of the eyelid from the side view. If you go to the side view, now you can see in reality this eyelid should be forward and this bottom eyelid should be backward. It shouldn't be on a single line. So let me check. Let me turn off the perspective and let's see if we have a correct thing here. No, let's use that line. You can see I'm using this Zbrush line to check that alignment, and you can see it's very close to that. That means now we have that wrong thing here. So this eyelid should come forward and this eyelid should come backward. It shouldn't be on a single line. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm talking about this thing. You can see the top eyelid is way forward than the bottom eyelid. So let's do that thing. It's basically, that means basically the top eyelid is more wide, thicker than the bottom, and it comes forward. So when you close your eyes, this skin is coming on top of this. Yeah. So basically it shouldn't be on a single line. It should be in an angle like this. So now you can clearly see that it's not on a single line. So most of the students and beginner artists tend to do this mistake. Okay, so then we need to make this more thick. So let's use that inflat brush here to make it more thicker. You can see it's very thick, and make sure the thickness is same all the way till the end here. Make sure to sharpen and smooth this. Okay, so then let's see the seventh mistake, and that is eye corner alignment, making the two eye corner same on a flat line. The outside corner of the eyes tend to be upside, so the eye shouldn't be straight like this. Let me show you. The eye corner shouldn't be on a straight line like this. It should be on an angle, a very little angle. That means this corner should be down and this corner should be up. So if you put a straight line here, this corner shouldn't come on that straight line. It should be a little upside. So that means let's check. When you check these things, make sure you turn off the perspectivity. Now you can see it's okay with this model. We have that thing correct. If this corner is here, make sure that is a little bit high from compared to this corner, and that is okay with this model. Fine. And let's see the eighth mistake, and that is making flat upper eyelid. So that means so make sure I forgot to adjust this. Make sure you put this eyelid line clear and defined, and make sure you give it a thickness. People tend to give very thin thickness here to this eye fold area, like to this line. It should be wide. This top eyelid area should be wider. It shouldn't be very thin. Let me go down. So you should give thickness to this upper eyelid. Make sure it's clearly defined, something like this. And always make sure you are checking everything from bottom and make sure everything looks okay. You can see it looks weird here. That means we need some adjustment here to this shape. Yeah, something like this. And we may need to move the eyeball a little bit forward. Oh, sorry. Okay, something like this. And I was talking about this area. So this is the 8th mistake of making this area flat. So we tend to have a concave and a convex shape there. So let me show you. You can see this shape here. So here you can see a concave shape and a convex shape. So it shouldn't be flat. So let me show you quickly. Here you can see it should be concave. It should be go in, and here it should go out, come out. So here is a kind of fat here, and this fat tends to overlap on this top eyelid. So it's not flat. So then you can smooth it. It's something like this. Okay, something like this. Make sure I adjust this area as well a little bit. Okay, so that's the 8th mistake of making this area flat. It should be a convex and concave shape. Okay, you can see here the concave shape and the convex shape. Okay, the 9th mistake is not giving convex shape to the iris or the cornea. So I'm talking about this iris area. People tend to make it smooth like this, but in reality we have a kind of convex shape to the iris. I mean, if I let me mask this area. Let's turn on the symmetry by pressing the X key, and let me mask it to make the iris. And by the way, when you do this iris, make sure you are using half of the eyeball. Let's say this is the eyeball, this should be half. Okay, when you do this, let's reverse it. This area tends to come outside a little bit. So we can actually move it and then smooth it. Let's see. So something like this. Make sure the center is coming out and then it's smooth. The outside is smooth. So it's something like this. The eyeball is always like this. So people tend to forget this. By doing this, we are going to get a very good highlights on this iris area. When we render the lights, we are going to get a highlight here because this is the convex area. So it's going to capture the shininess highlights on this area, which is going to give you a very good looking eye. And in reality, we also in real world we have this. So we have a concave and convex shape. Okay, here you can see that thing, that convex shape. Okay, so this is the 9th mistake of not having this shape on the eyeball. And the last mistake is a very important point, and that is not making the eye unique. Making a generic eye, not making the eye very unique to the character. Everybody has a very unique eye. You can identify a person through their eyes, only watching their eyes. That means everybody has a unique eye. So whenever you sculpt an eye, make sure you judge that eye by judging its unique nature or its unique shape. So you can see we have different shapes of eyes. You can see all these eyes. This baby eye has a different shape than a mature person eyes. A girl's eyes is different than a man eyes, and you can see Asian has their own style and old person eyes. So make sure when you do the eye, make sure you follow all these rules and guidelines, and at the end make sure to identify that uniqueness of that character. Make sure to get that, and that will give the life to the character. So thank you for watching this video. So that's it, 10 mistakes of beginner artist and students. You probably do those mistakes. I did those mistakes. So these are the 10 mistakes you need to avoid when you sculpt eyes, and your character will look much better.
Hope you like the video. If yes, please like, comment and share the video on your social media platform so that it can reach more people to help. If you want me to make any specific tutorial for you, then please put that down in the comment section and I'll happy to do that. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.
Subscribe Nalinkantajena Tutorials channel and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video.